Well, g'day curd nerds. G'day curd nerds. Well, 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 g'day curd nerds. Welcome back. I'm Gavin Weber, the host of the show, and this is episode 336 of Ask the Cheeseman. It's where you can ask your home cheese making questions, if you have any. And if you do have any, leave them in the chat and make sure that you put 3 Qs in front of the comment and we'll be good to go. Okay, big shout out as always to all of the YouTube members. Thank you to Pauline Crook for resubscribing. That's the one I'm looking for. Thank you so much for that, and of course all of the patrons. New patron Prendergast. Sorry, Pranon. Thank you so much for signing up to Patreon, and thank you to everybody who's listed on that page and all the YouTube members as well for continuing to support the channel. It's absolutely amazing, even though I haven't been putting out too much content lately due to the back injury, which is so bloody persistent. And yeah, good suggestion. G'day Jose, g'day Cool Cat, g'day Carolyn, hello Patricia, and also we've got David and Matt. Hello to both of you, and to Michelle. I think Michelle was the first person who joined the stream. Jose says, how's your back? Well, goodness me. You probably noticed that since I haven't made a proper video since 3rd of November, things haven't been going as well as I thought they would be. Mind you, in the last week, it's been pretty good. I have been able to get up and about and do a little bit of gardening and that sort of stuff. Just light, working in the garden. Nothing, no heavy lifting, any of that sort of rubbish. So yeah, taking it easy still to make sure that it recovers fully. I've been to my doctor a few times since then, and he said, look, progress is slow and steady for these sorts of things, and you just got to keep on keeping on, I suppose. So that's what I've been doing. No long hours standing at the kitchen sink for making cheese and all that sort of stuff, and it's frustrating, if anything, for me to not be able to do the things that I love to do. So yeah, it's one of those things. Anyway, thanks for asking, Jose. Really appreciate it, mate. Patricia says it's a digital world now. I think you're referring to the calendar thing that I was talking about, that Michelle was talking about before. There is a calendar option in my merch provider for a wall calendar. But yeah, let's have a vote on it. We can do votey things. Where is it? Let's would you buy a cheese wall calendar? There we go. There's the poll. Hopefully it works. Is this going to work, or is it going to crash everything? There you go. Not an obligation, just a question. But yeah, throw it in there. And we'll see how that goes by the end of the stream. Michelle's got a question. Let's get into that and have a look. Can we do that? If I do it in the right place, I'll get it right. Michelle says, any news on the Titanic cheese you talked about before? Did you ever find the recipe? No, I didn't. And the guy, Dan, who was doing the research for it, has gone missing in action. I haven't heard hide nor hair of the stuff that he said he was going to do for me to find a recipe and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I had commissioned him for the work, but nothing ever came back, unfortunately. So, Michelle, no, nothing about it. It would have been nice to get something like that done before April 12th, which was the day that it sunk. I was hoping to do that for next year, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's the news on that. Thank you for asking. What else? Oh, one thing I did forget to say was we do have a decent-sized gallery today. So there will be lots of photos in the gallery, so stay tuned for that at 30 minutes past the hour. Thanks to Raoul, I think, who's just subscribed to the channel. Cheers, mate. I don't know if you're watching. But yeah, if you're in the chat, that'd be fantastic. Now, don't forget, if you've got any questions, throw them into the chat and we'll get them answered. There's not a lot there. I think that's it. One other suggestion that I had for merch from Scott yesterday was... Oh, goodness me. Thank you, Paul. That is amazing. Was that I don't have a Keep Calm and Make Cheese t-shirt. I do have a mug in the merch store, but no t-shirt. Thank you, Paul, so much for the $50 US super chat. That's made my day. Makes it all worthwhile, I suppose. Not that seeing everybody's smiling faces isn't worthwhile, and certainly, I don't know why that hasn't triggered, but there's the Curd Nerd Light. Thank you so much. No question, Gavin. Just wishing you and Kim a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, mate. I really do appreciate it. Cool. How do I turn that off? I'm a bit out of practice for this, aren't I? But we'll see how that goes. Oh, right. The light went off. That's fantastic. Now, as far as the poll goes, we've had 9 volts, and everybody says yes. 9 volts. Volts. 9 votes. Everybody says yes so far. well, it might be worth doing. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I have no idea. Let's just see, does the merch store software... Let's just have a look. What the heck is it? There we go. Let's get this up on the second thing. Oops. Shouldn't be showing that. Orders, members, create a new product. What would I like to create? Let's have a look. Calendar. Okay. Guaranteed delivery before the 21st. Standard ship. Okay. Might even get delivered before Christmas. So I don't know how this all works, but if I design it, it'll go fully customizable over 12 pages. Dates added for every month automatically. Pages bound with a silver metal wire. Nice. Printed digitally. Okay, cool. What else does it say? Ships from US. Okay. We'll have to favourite that so I can find it again. View all holiday deadline. Yeah, okay. So if I get this done today, then we will have a calendar, which will be absolutely fantastic. All right, let's just get out of that and get back to my ugly head. There we go. I'll just keep that tucked away for later on after I've finished. So there we go. So all right, I'll end the poll now. That's enough indication for me that it all sounds pretty good. So there's the results there in the chat. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Let's get that done. And any other merch that you'd like to see. For those who haven't seen the front of the merch store, and I'm sure you have, there's 22 of you and watching, and you're probably all very, very regular to the Ask the Cheeseman. Let's just see if I can find... where the heck is it? There it is. There it is. Check out my cheese merch. And... oh, this is in... oh, no, it's in US dollars. Not Australian dollars today. Do we do Australian dollars? We can. Alright, why is it all so small? Oh, it's because it's 80%. There you go. There's 100%. That looks a bit better. Yeah, so we've got all the merch. The Happiness is a full cheese fridge, even including a sweatshirt for those in the northern hemisphere. We got the G'day Curd Nerds. We got the certified curd nerd, including the apron. That's a handsome looking young man. It's not me, but that's the apron as well. Fantastic. So it's all there, and it's all at. Let's put it into US dollars, shall we? Because we can. And then copy that. And go back to here. There we go. There's the link. If anybody wants to see and check it out. Now, I'll let everybody know in the community tab when the calendar's available. It shouldn't take me too long. We have lots and lots of photos. However, the next question I have for this, let's design it on the fly, so there's a heck of a lot of questions coming in. So the next vote is... can we have another vote? Oh, of course we can. Another vote. Hello, Molly. How are you? Welcome. It's good to see you. Calendar. Yeah, Patricia, I noticed that. I've had a warning, and every time I lodge stuff for the shop, that we can't ship to Canada at the moment, and Canada Post has put a hold on everything, so even if you go to my shop, you can't select shipping to Canada. That's how bad it is. And that's not me, that's Australia Post doing it. So okay, toes for the... Okay, I know this is riveting content, but here we go. So there's the next poll. Let me know what you think, and if I do use gallery photos, I would have to email, and this is fine, I would have to email every single person to ask them if I can use their photos for the calendar. However, if it's mine, I can just make it today. So I'll make one today just using my photos, and then I can make a second one with gallery photos. That'll probably take about a week to contact everybody via email to see if I'm allowed to use their photos. Because when it comes into money, you've got to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, that sort of thing. So, now as Patricia says, anybody watching from Canada at the moment, unfortunately, the Postal Service has gone on strike, and I don't think there'll be anything going on there. I can't ship from Little Green Workshops either to Canada, so that's unfortunate. But if they're not getting paid enough, then maybe that's what they need to do, is go on strike, unfortunately. Alrighty. Does anybody else have any questions? I'll tell you what, it'll be a short show if we don't get any questions. And I have to do the gallery early, but yeah, let me know. As far as the poll goes, we've got... I didn't even do the poll right. I got the photos. I got yes or no. I don't know which one. Yes, that's right. Oh, I'm right out of it. Yeah, all right. So yes is for mine, and gallery photos is no. How's that sound? Does that make sense? You may have to change your vote, which I think you can do. So go and do that. Paul has a question. Thank you, Paul, for keeping the show going. Oh, goodness me. Here we go. Paul's question is, if I were to do a new cheese class at work, is there any cheese that can be made in 2 hours, assuming I do some of the process beforehand? Oh, let me think. Some of the quickest cheeses. In 2 hours. Well, let me just think. So the cheeses that I normally do in a cheese making workshop personally is I normally do paneer. So I do paneer, which is easy. That's made within an hour. I also make well, it's not ricotta, it's sweet ricotta, so it's made with whole milk. Halloumi you can make in 2 hours, except the pressing is for about 30 minutes, so that may be time to talk about stuff. So you can do halloumi in 2 hours, easily enough. And the other cheese that I make is quick mozzarella, which, you know, is a bit of a delight. If you can get it right, and make sure you test your recipe, Paul, if you're going to do that. You'll also need something to heat the curds in. So I don't know how many microwaves you have. The thing is, when I used to teach, I used to take 2 microwaves with me, and we had a class. I had a minimum class of 2 and a max of 4. I just found it far more personable to teach in a smaller environment than to teach, you know, a big class of say 20, which I had done in the past, and my goodness, it was very stressful, because if one person mucks up their ingredients before they pour it into the milk, then that throws everything out, because you can't watch 20 people measuring out their ingredients and getting it right, because inevitably one of the students will measure something wrong, and whether it be the citric acid or the rennet or what have you, one of the steps will stuff it up, and quick mozzarella is not a very forgiving cheese to make for beginners. However, one of the other cheeses that is fairly quick, is it? I was just thinking of queso fresco, but it takes 6 hours to press, so probably not for a class. But, you know, a full day class, there's many more options, of course. But there's some suggestions, so I hope that helps Paul. So, um, uh, G- Jean says, I went with yes for your pictures. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Jean. Appreciate it. I love the picture of the galah as well. Gorgeous. Patricia says, can't change my vote. I like gallery photos for the calendar. Thank you, Patricia, for the feedback. And Paul says, I would just do it so they can see how to do it. They want to eat cheese at the end of the class. Okay, so it's more of a demonstration than a class, yeah? So if it's a demonstration, you can always have the old, oh, here's one I made earlier cheese. So, you could always get it to the pressing stage and have it sitting in the press, but have one that you made the day before or, the week before or what have you, and get them to, they can sample your cheese from their pool. So there's an idea, and I've done that before too, where I've got people, I did a class on kefili, and we got it salted and up until the first pressing during the class, and I had made one the week before, and they all sampled it at the end of the class, and the class was a hit. It was really good. I think I had 4 students for that as well, and I had enough presses that I could make, I made one for everybody. But if it's just a demonstration, you could certainly talk through it. However, you got the long renneting time, you got the long ripening time as well of the milk when you put the cultures in it. So maybe not so much. Maybe some of those other simpler acid set cheeses will be a lot easier. So there's some thoughts anyway. Hope that helps, mate. And it does, obviously. Fantastic. All right. Now, Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer, all the way from... are you still in Japan? But anyway, that aside, you have a question. It says, hi, Gavin. Have you heard of a cheese called Pai... Oh, good, how do you say this? Paisa? Is that how you say it? A Venezuelan lady made some and fried it, and it tastes amazing. I'd like to see you make a video of this cheese. I've never heard of it. Canada. Oh, Jennifer's in Canada. Sorry, not Japan. I was thinking of somebody else. Let me just write that down, Jennifer, and P-A-I-S-A. Let's, for the sake of it, let's just, hang on, we'll finish the poll. We got 10 votes. Yes, I should have changed the thing. Anyway, we'll there's the results. Let's go and do a little bit of googly searching, because we can. What do we call it? P-A-I-S-A. Cheese. Okay, let's have a look. What am I doing? There we go. So it's what is queso pieza? It's a very popular type of cheese that comes from the Andes region of Venezuela. It's a semi-soft cheese pasteurized with medium-level salt and is eaten in slices. Is there a photo? Okay, there is. There's maybe a US. Let's have a look. Oh, come on, internet. It's not that hard, is it? Oh, there we go. Top selling cheeses, right. Is it that one? That one. No, that's not that one. That one. Piazza Palmita cheese. Okay, let's have a look. That one, maybe? Sorry, what cheese from Venezuela? Production usually occurs in large circular containers. Originates from the Zulia state of northwest Venezuela. A main provider of dairy products for the country. Wheel is 4.5 pounds, which is about, what, 2 kilograms? Yeah, roughly. And you obviously make things with it like that, whatever that is. Are there better pictures? So it's a white cheese. Oh, that's what it looks like. It's got holes in it too. Interesting. In fact, it looks very holy. Can we look at the main picture? Yeah, so it's got lots of little eyes and stuff. Is it made from... Can we make that bigger? No, that's it. Keep refrigerated. Distributed by a company in Florida. Made from pasteurized A-grade milk, enzymes, cultures. So the enzymes be rennet, cultures, salt, and calcium chloride. Okay. And it's very holy by the looks of it. Yeah, Jennifer, let me know. Was the one that you ate holy? So that's interesting to see that is very holy there. So, yeah, let me know, yeah? But great question. So I've had a look. I'll see if I can find a recipe for that. Venezuelans speak Spanish, yeah? It was holy. Okay. So, all right, we'll see what they do. Must obviously some propionic shamani there somewhere in there, maybe. Did it have a nutty flavour when you tasted it, or was it just all holes? So, let me know either way. Hello, Shiny says you could make the cheese at half the stage, then they can learn the beginning part, and then you can bring on your half-done cheese and they can finish it. The old, here's one I prepared earlier trick. Yeah, you could do that. As far as, that's for Paul, I think, as far as the suggestion goes. Alrighty, very cool. I do have some jokes because, you know, I know coming back from a long break, there's not as many questions as there normally would be, but I've got some very lame jokes, and where they come from? Well, they came from the post office of all places. It's called Really Immature Cheesy Jokes. What's the first? This says includes 100 cheesy joke cards. Very nice. So I'm going to throw a joke, and if you don't like my jokes, then ask questions. There you go. That's what you do. Oh, goodness me. Is this working? Yeah, that sounds like it's working. All right. How do you approach an angry Welsh cheese? Anyone? Carefully. I think that's a play on words for Caerphilly. Oh, there you go. Can we get in closer? There we go. That's a silly joke. The next cheese joke is why was the cheese depressed? Because it was blue. Oh my goodness. These are the worst cheese jokes ever. Alright, next one. One more. A cheese factory exploded in France today. Debris is everywhere. Right. I told you that was the last one. There we go. Or do we have another one? No. No more. Maybe later. All right. 98 more to go. You could do a whole video just reading out cheese jokes. In fact, I have done that before. Yeah. Paul says queso para friere, white cheese for frying. Sounds very similar to halloumi, Paul. So yeah, interesting. And the next one, are there any cheeses with honey on it or in it? None with honey in it that I know of, because it would ferment, and that would be bad. However, you know, cheese can be served with honey, definitely, and some of the saltier ones are probably the best for honey. In fact, I saw the other day somebody serve up a cheese platter with some blue cheese on it, and they suggested to use honey, and I had some, and it was delicious. Very, very nice. So, no, I wouldn't put honey in cheese. You can put honey on cheese. In fact, if you have a look at the Alpine Blossom recipe, Michelle, I use honey as a kind of glue to stick all the blossoms onto the cheese. And that did impart a little bit of flavour into the cheese. I only matured it for another 2 weeks after that, vac packed with the blossom on it. But it did taste really nice. Patricia says, my husband just let out a genuine laugh at the debris joke. Okay. Nice. Patricia has a suggestion that says, I think Mary Carlin has a recipe in her book for honey rubbed Montasio. You could check that one out. Indeed. Let me see, do I have that book here? Oh, I do. I do have this book. Patricia is referring to Artisan Cheese Making at Home by Mary Carlin, who I think is a chef by trade. Alright, so doesn't have an index, that's a start. Right, it does. H for honey. Honey, alright, page 131. There it is. You'll need 2 pounds of milk. What? Oh, makes 2 pounds. Right, how much milk does it need? It looks very similar to the Dry Jack, actually, in the way it's presented in this book anyway. 1 gallon of milk. 1 gallon of cow's milk, 1 gallon of goat's milk. Thermo C, calcium chloride, rennet, salt, and honey. So it only uses 3 tablespoons of honey for the recipe. But if you've got that book, then yeah, you can go and check it out. And if you don't have the book, I'm pretty sure I've got it listed on my Amazon shop, which is down in the link below. And that's the prompt for the gallery. So that's the book. Mary Carlin's Artisan Cheese Making Home. It's a nice book. It's an interesting read. I have tried some of the recipes, and they do work. They're very small. I only use 1 gallon of milk for most of the recipes. So if you're into small quantities, then that's probably the book for you. But yeah, have a look at that. Paul says, I need to leave, but happy to have stopped by. Thank you very much, mate. And appreciate the $50 US. That's just outstanding. As far as gifts go, thank you for Christmas gift. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Okay. Right, gallery time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's just get that up and get the pictures up and all that good gear. Alrighty, so the gallery is brought to you by You the Curtain over the last week or so. Alright, there might have been a glitch then, but not sure what's going on. I think it's all fixed now. Let's just see what's going on. It's saying that it's not working. Oh no, there I am. Jeez, it's all happening now. Right, go back to the gallery. Sorry about that, technical error. Okay, it's all good now. Seems like my internet is not playing the game. Anyway, so this is the gallery. Like I said, you send your photos to me, and I present them, and they are amazing. So this is a cheese platter. This is from Michelle. Thanks, Michelle, for sending this one in. Michelle says, hi, Gavin. I made a cheese tray with smoked jalapeno cheddar, Buda Kaiser, and Cotswold for Thanksgiving, and it was well received. Everybody had their favourites. Thanks so much, and I hope you are doing well. Sincerely, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. And there's 2 photos, and I like the crackers. They look like... what do they call them over here? Jats crackers or Ritz crackers, same thing. But I can see the jalapeno cheddar. That looks amazing with the jalapenos in there. That is the Budakaiser. And the chives are a dead giveaway for the Cotswold. But that in itself is a picture for the calendar. As far as I'm concerned, fantastic. Great photography, and it's very high res, which is absolutely perfect for that sort of thing. So, Michelle, with your permission, instead of having to email you, it would be good to get your permission to use that photo. So that's fantastic. So let me know. Either way. The next one is from Patricia. And I think they're Patricia's hands by the sounds of it. Let's just have a look at... She's got a little story here too. Let me just read it. It says, "Hi Gavin, I thought you might find this interesting. Halifax has a small, wonderful shop called Ratonneau. I think that's how you say it. Run by an immigrant called Frederic Tandy from Le Moyne in France. The front of Ratonneau is a cheese and charcuterie business, while in the back has a tiny 10-seat lunch counter where Fred makes and serves delicious sandwiches, French onion soup, and homemade potato chips or crisps for the British." Okay. I was there for lunch this afternoon, and Fred was positively beaming as he pointed out this enormous 80-pound or 36-kilogram Comté wheel, which had just been delivered. He'd never ordered such a large cheese before, yet certainly the little shop will get through it before the end of January. Fred says Comté is his biggest selling cheese. I put my hands on the wheel just for the photo for scale. Regards, Patricia. That is absolutely amazing. That is a big cheese. I love it. Very nice. Does it say where it's from? The company, Charles Arnaud. Not sure. 18 months, affinage, maybe? Is that months in English? I think it is. Anyway, that's a lovely looking cheese. Thank you, Patricia, for sending that in. I really appreciate it. Okay, the next photo is from Saunders, and Saunders is in New Zealand. I haven't seen him on the show today, but let's have a look. It says, "Hi, Gavin. Hope all is going good there. Some new photos for you. Could you advise on the lumpy Jarlsberg? It is at room temperature stage and developed some bumps on the top. Did the same when I flipped it. Do you think it's the propionic Shamani at work or something else? There is also it is also still quite moist, top and bottom. Thanks." I have had this before happen with that sort of cheese, so as long as it doesn't crack, it should be alright. The cheese does turn quite elastic when you make it. Is there another picture? No, that's the inside of another cheese. It says, no, it doesn't say anything about this photo. I don't know if that's the inside, but this is a Jarlsberg that he's made before. It says experiment. It looks like a... can we get in close? It looks like he's used two different curds here. So there's a white... Yes, it looks like a marbled cheddar, but a Jarlsberg. Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it? It looks interesting. Does it say... No, it says, by the way, just... No, that's it. There's nothing, no narrative about this cheese, but it's a good looking cheese, I tell you. So it's obviously made in the Jarlsberg style, but it looks like he's done a marbled version of it. And then this is, by the way, I just got my order from Little Green Workshops. I made the chili cheddar in your basket, and it came out perfect. But just wanted to say, I love the packaging of the cultures. With the info cards telling me which culture is best for which cheese. Awesome for a newbie like me. See you at the next Curd Nerd event. Thank you, Saunders. That is lovely. Saunders goes by the moniker of Sam Bond, and I haven't seen him in the chat. But yeah, that's a good-looking chili cheddar, that's for sure. Delicious. And it's going to have a little bit of spice to it. Yeah, fantastic. Now, thank you, Saunders, for sending those in. And we got some from Scott. Scott Brennan has sent me in some photos. And he says, "Hi, Gavin." It says the Sabrinz was made a few days ago and is air drying. It's very hard to keep the curds from matting together when eating to 131. I think that's what it says. But yes, and yeah, just make it's got a little bit of a crack there, so make sure that's waxed pretty quick, mate. A good looking cheese. Another one. This is a manchego made from cow's milk with the Old Bay seasoning. Was stirred through and salted at the same time instead of brining. So he's dry salted it instead. So that'll make an interesting variation on that cheese. With dry salting, just make sure, and I think that's some sort of spice mix. I'm not sure what Old Bay seasoning is because we don't have it here in Australia. It was not popular as far as I know. But yeah, when you dry salt it, I would dry salt it over 3 days. So, you know, rub it once, let it soak in, flip it, next day, rub it again. So do that for 3 days. Very similar to the red Leicester that I made. You're going to make sure that it's well salted, so all that salt absorbs in. Dry salting's not just a one day thing; it's over multiple days. So make sure you do that if you haven't already. The next cheese is Gruyere. So this is about a month old and developing some white mold on it, but no brown spots yet. So that's interesting. And I think this is the final cheese. This is the Port Salut. It says about a month old and is darkening a little on the surface from the kombucha and bee linens, hopefully. It is softening and turning buttery and tasting good. So that looks like it's just starting to bloom now. So that's interesting as well. Thank you, Scott, for sending those photos in. Very interesting. I love a good session of cheese. It says, "Glad to hear your back is feeling somewhat better." Well, it is now. Keep up the brilliant work, Scott. Thank you, Scott. The next one, oh, these are a bit small. Hopefully they can enlarge a bit. This is from Valerie, and Valerie has sent these in. Valerie says, "Hi, Gavin. This is a picture of me doing a demonstration for my brew club. We made a Guido's and a mozzarella. I always write out the recipe and add the expected times I should hit at each stage in the left margin." Okay. This helps me time my long press for overnight so I don't have to get up and change anything or add to brine. Though I have a New England cheese making press, sometimes I use kettlebells. All right, anyway, moving right along. So I think that's Valerie. I'm not sure. Must be. And lovely to see you. And there's kettlebell for, oh, there we go, for pressing. Says, "I use kettlebells for lightweight so I don't have to adjust the press." Well, there you go. And that's absolutely perfect. You can do that. I've seen that done before. I've done it myself. But I've used these old style weights. Now, is that it? Is that the end of the gallery? Looks like it is. It says, "Hope your back isn't giving you too much grief so you can prepare for Christmas. I'll be making your fruit cake recipe for that. Thanks so much for all you do for us curd nerds, Valerie." Thank you, Valerie. I really appreciate it. Now, thank you, everybody, for sending in those photos. And how do you send in photos? Well, I'm glad you asked. You go to the YouTube channel, which is here, and you click on this bit here. Do you want to become a curd? Not the photo. Don't click on that. Do you want to become a curd nerd? You just click there, and this little thing pops up. Not only are there links to the Cheese Merch store, sign up for the Curd Nerd newsletter and Little Green Workshops where we have all our supplies. Not surprise, supplies. And a link to the Patreon page, of course. But there is view my email address, so you've got to be logged on to YouTube to see this. It won't let you otherwise. And you've got to click a little box to say you're a human, not a robot. And you'll get the email address, and you can then send through all of your gallery photos to me. So that would be wonderful if you did that. I'm just going to look at the calendar. Can I see my Google Calendar from here? Will it let me? Let's have a look. Can we do a calendar? Calendar, where is my calendar? Here we go. Now this is empty because it's my Google Calendar. Just checking when. So we'll have an episode on the 15th and the 22nd. So the 22nd will be, as far as Ask the Cheeseman goes, will be the last one before Christmas. Yeah, because Christmas is on the Wednesday this week for me. So the last Christmas show will be on the 22nd of December. So if you've got any photos that you want to send in before Christmas, so we'll have two shows, 15th and the 22nd, back obligating, of course, obliging, that's the right word. Then yeah, we can do that. So send in. You've got 2 weeks to send in before Christmas, and I will be taking a break for Christmas, probably for about 2 weeks. I'm back in January, and that's what we're doing for the shop anyway. Whether I do a live stream, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll schedule them as we go along and see how that goes. Anyway, so thank you everybody for sending in your gallery photos. Michelle says, of course you have permission. Thank you, Michelle. There's one photo for the calendar. Michelle says yes. Write it down. That's a big yes to her photo. Thank you so much. Michelle also says, Old Bay seasoning is celery, salt, red and black pepper, and paprika. Oh, there you go. Now I know. Sounds interesting. I have had celery salt before, but not in that combination. So that'll be really interesting. Patricia says you are correct. How do you say that? Mois is the French word for months. Is the S silent? Must be. But yeah, thanks. Thanks, Patricia. Appreciate it. Alrighty, so we've got 15 minutes to burn through, which is great, burn with cheesy content. I did have one more joke. This is controversial. What is... What? Oh, goodness. What is the Pope's favourite cheese? Anyone? Swiss, because it's holy. Goodness me. Anyway, right, there we go. Right. That's enough of that shenanigans. There we go. Now, I have, and I don't know if the Curd Nerd community is into this sort of thing, but I've been working ever so slowly on revamping my vegetable garden, which I'm a passionate grower of our own food, and I've been working very, very slowly to convert it from a very low-level garden beds, which I had to kneel at and I couldn't bend over, up to a bench height, counter bench height. So yeah, what are they? 740 mil. So that's just over, so a yard and a half, if that makes sense, in imperial. So that's how high the garden beds are. Do I have photos? Can I show photos on this? First of all, do I have any photos? I just want to show you this. This is what will be coming up in a video on the Gavin and Kim channel. Can I bring it up? What is a good Christmas present for a kid who loves cheese? Is that a question or a joke? If it's a question, Christmas present for a kid who loves cheese, get them some. What's an outstanding cheese? There's a couple that are amazing. Depends on the kid's flavour. Kids normally like string cheese, which is basically mozzarella. Let me just bring up. Do I have? I did a bean time lapse the other day. Where is it? No, that's not it. Where the heck is it? New veggie patch. Do I have photos? Can I just do photos? I've got videos and photos. Right. Sorry, 1 second. Won't take long. Can I do some... Right, I do have photos. Now, whether this will work or not... Is it... Oh, this might work. Goodness me, I think I've done it. Right, so... here we are, second monitor. So this is my veggie patch that I'm working on. As you can see, I've built a bed there and I'm slightly leaning over, but yeah, I've had a lot of help doing this. Ben and Kim have helped me to put it all together. So far, these are about 2 weeks old, I think, these photos. There's the doggos, making sure that I'm doing what I'm doing. And yeah, so there they are. Aren't they cute as a button? They got their own channel too. Did you know that? Go and check out Hamish and Bonnie, the Westies on YouTube. And yeah, they're in here with me. But yeah, cute as a button, those two. Yeah, so I'm growing some tomatoes in that bed there. I put another bed there. So that's been helped. They're not that heavy, so that's a good thing. Yeah, and that's the deck area that we're trying to revamp a little bit to make it look nice. The garden's over on the right hand side, which is really cool. There's some native Australian violets that I've planted for Kim. There's this bed here. This is what I was talking about before. So maybe this is not in date order. So these are the old garden beds, which I just couldn't garden anymore. It's just they were just too low. So I bought these raised garden beds. So we dipped into a little bit of my pension money, and we purchased these, and we're in the process of doing those through the whole garden. So these tomatoes are like up to the roof now. So this is a few months ago, but yeah, excuse the mess, but yeah, that's what the long bed looks like, and you saw what the other bed looks like before, and there's with all the tomatoes in. And oh, there's the lovely Kim. You don't get to see her very often. There she is, sitting there looking wise at the garden. And that's the size of the garden beds that I'm putting in now. Anyway, that's enough from me as far as gardens go. Sorry, I don't know if people enjoy gardening, but yeah. Oh, Michelle says she loves gardening. Joanna says, so holy cheddar, no, I haven't. I know you've been asking for 7 years. And no, I haven't made it yet. Sorry, Joanna. We'll get there one day. We'll get there. Patricia says, are those bench height beds full of soil, or is there something else in the bottom to reduce the soil volume? We've got lots of gardeners. Goodness me, I didn't realise that so many people liked gardening who like cheese. But I suppose it's all part of the, kind of like the self-sufficiency thing that I certainly enjoy, and I know a lot of people do as well. Patricia, good question. So yes, there will be photos there'll be a video on the Gavin and Kim channel, which I'm starting to change into a kind of a gardening channel. But yeah, so down the bottom I've got wood, and so the old sleepers that were in there. So the end parts, they're actually in the bottom of the bed. So a bit like hugelkultur. So, and then I've also got leaf mulch that was under the Japanese elm tree in the front yard. So I scraped all that off the garden paths and put a couple of buckets, big rubbish bins, 55-litre rubbish bin full of leaves in the bottom. Then I put, because we get our shopping delivered because I can't go to the shops, so our grocery shopping, so they come in paper bags. So all of the paper bags that we collected from all the deliveries, they're all shoved in between the sleepers, sticks and all that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, heaps and heaps of brown matter down the bottom, including shredding from our business. So any old tax records and stuff like that, we shredded them up using our shredder, and put them down the bottom as well. Watered all that in, put compost over the top, and then we put a compost and soil mix from the old garden beds, and I mixed in compost with them, and then filled the beds up to the top. So probably 40% of brown matter down the bottom that's all going to rot down, and then the other 60% is a compost and soil mix, which was from the old garden bed, was just soil, and then I mixed it in. So there you go. So yeah, there's a few people, and even Molly says that she loves gardening, but it's winter right now, so I'm just planning. Susanna loves gardening as well. Thank you, Susanna. There was somebody else. Oh, Michelle loves gardening as well. Jose says, it took me 10 minutes to get the joke about the Swiss. Oh, okay. Mickey said, and thank you for the question, Mickey, is from Iran. Hello, dear Gavin from Iran. I do have a question. Do you think Clabber or kefir is better as a culture for feta cheese? I'm one of your fans in Iran. I hope you have a good day. Also, please put out a tutorial on how to make Clabber on your channel. I don't use raw milk, Mickey, so Clabber's made with raw milk, and there is, let me just think, there is a good explanation of how to make Clabber. If you pop over to, and I'm not sure if you remember a member, go to the Learn to Make Cheese on Facebook if you can access that. That group there, they have an expert on making Clabber that's safe, because it is a bit hit and miss. So yeah. Next question, and thank you for asking. But yeah, do I think it's better for feta? No, because I haven't used it. That's the thing. I haven't used Clabber or kefir grains for any of my cheeses, so I don't know if it's better or not, unfortunately. Sorry, Mickey, I can't answer your question. Jeff. Hello, Jeff and Heidi. Love to see both of you again. Susanna says, starting seeds indoor at the end of January. Okay, obviously in the Northern Hemisphere. Patricia says, do you put whey on your tomatoes? If so, what is the dilution rate? Yes, I do put whey on my tomatoes. As you may have seen in the 15 Ways with Whey video. I do dilute it. So 1 litre of whey to in a 9 litre watering can, and then just top that up. And you can, and Molly said that she puts it on undiluted, and you can do that for sure. But when they're young seedlings, I certainly wouldn't do that. And it also depends. There's a couple of ways to use whey. That's just a joke. Make sure that it's a cheese that you haven't added salt to the milk first. There's a few cheeses that do that. Let me think. What's Caccia ricotta is one of those cheeses, and there's a few other cheeses where you add salt to the cheese, to the milk, before you start making the cheese. Charus is another one. But yeah, don't use that way because it'll be too salty and you'll kill your tomatoes. It'll be like pouring seawater onto them. So don't do that. But yeah, you can use it undiluted as well, but I would not do that when they're seedlings. If you're just using it as a, just a soil, to help microbes in the soil, that would be absolutely perfect. And if you dilute it to that ratio, so 1 litre to, it's 1 to 8, I suppose, basically, if you put it into a 9 litre watering can. And it's good, it's a bit like sea salt. It kind of activates microbes within the soil, and the lactobacteria breaks down into enzymes like it does in cheese. But yeah, helps soil biome. So definitely worth using it in the garden if you've got it. Dilute it to use on other plants other than just acid-loving ones. But yeah, it's good. Jess says, finally woke up in time to watch the live show. Thanks, mate. There's only like 1 minute to go, but I'm glad you got out of bed early. And Patricia says, Molly, I bet the blueberries love it. Well, thanks for watching today, Curd Nerds. I do appreciate everybody who's turned up. We've had about 30, 35 people, which is absolutely fantastic. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching the show. I've got a few announcements, of course. If you want to pick up any cheese-making supplies before Christmas, you can do that. If you're in Australia, I suppose. The shipping dates, let me just find them, because I do have them. Little Green Workshops, where are you? Please save me. If we go to the shipping dates, shipping cutoff dates, here we go. Okay, so just so everybody's aware, this is Little Green Workshops, the shop that Kim and I own. So, shipping cut-off dates within Australia for parcel post, 19th of December, express 22nd of December. So, that's from where we are. If you're in WA, though, Western Australia, it's a couple of days earlier, and Northern Territory a couple of days earlier than that. Sending overseas, we won't be doing Canada anymore, will we, Patricia? Because Canada Post have gone on strike. But to New Zealand, International Standard the 5th, so that's passed. Express, no problems. US, still a few days to go. And Express by the 16th. Canada, can't do that. UK has passed, but Express is still available. Major European destinations. So this is all if you want your delivery before Christmas. Remembering we've got lots of kits and all that sort of good gear at Little Green Workshops to pick up. So yeah, go and check that out. Oops, it's a little bit garbled. There we go, that's better. So littlegreenworkshops.com.au. Thanks so much. And last but not least, merch. You saw the merch store before. We talked about making a calendar, which I think I will do. So merch.cheeseman.tv if you want to pick up any merch. Like this amazing coffee cup as well, of me sitting in the cheesy chair of wisdom. There we go. No coffee stains on it either. Lovely. Well, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds. It's been a blast, as always. There will be a show next week, as I'm starting to get better. And whether there'll be a cheese video before Christmas, I'm not sure. I've been keeping an eye on the, what was it, the Hispanico that I made a while ago, which is probably nearly ready to eat, so that'll be interesting. And last few, not questions, but statements. Molly says that I do not have to do anything else to make sure my soil is acid enough. No chemical fertilizers. And Suzanne has bland on the go. Kind of tastes like sour milk. I've done something wrong. Sour milk. No, probably won't. Unless you've tasted it early. If you taste it early, yeah, it will taste a bit like that. Yeah, hopefully it's not too warm where you are. You said it was cold before. But most of that milk solids will precipitate down to and they'll just sink to the bottom. And the liquid will go clear eventually. But hopefully there's some fermentation going on. And yeah, just follow the video and I don't think you'll have too many problems. But yeah, it won't be sour milk when it's finished. Because like I said, and you'll decant, and yeah, you'll do a transfer to a second demijohn, so you won't have any of those solids in it anyway. And they don't go off because there's alcohol in there, and that'll kill anything that tries to grow. So there you go. Thanks, Susan. That's it. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next week. See you later, Curd Nerds. Bye-bye.